Nick suddenly noticed that his thumb was rapidly turning black. As a doctor, he immediately realized this was a symptom of severe hypoxia in the heart and lungs. Moments later, the water bottle in his hand abruptly compressed and deformed, and even the glass on the table started shaking intensely. At this point, the flight attendant also noticed something was amiss. She quickly sat down and fastened her seatbelt. Just then, the plane encountered extremely strong turbulence, causing the entire aircraft to shake violently. Water from the glasses uncontrollably splashed out, and passengers who hadn't had time to fasten their seatbelts were thrown into the air by the powerful air currents. The passengers were terrified. They could only tightly grip the armrests and silently pray to God for safety. However, suddenly the cabin pressure reached a critical point. Realizing the imminent danger, the captain quickly donned his oxygen mask. The oxygen masks in the passenger cabin also dropped down, and everyone immediately put them on to supply themselves with oxygen. But at that moment, there was a girl using the restroom. The intense turbulence made it impossible for her to open the door. Driven by the instinct to survive, she tried again and again. However, just as she finally managed to open the door, she fainted due to severe hypoxia. Fortunately, soon after, the pressure in the cabin returned to normal levels, and the plane gradually stabilized. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. To calm the passengers' nerves, the captain immediately explained the reason over the broadcast. It turned out that the plane had suddenly encountered a storm, causing damage to a seal on the aircraft, which led to the cabin pressure issue. However, they had already taken emergency measures and would lower the plane's altitude to stabilize the pressure, so the passengers need not worry too much. Only then did the passengers finally relax a little. The flight attendant quickly discovered the girl who had fainted in the restroom earlier. She promptly brought an emergency oxygen mask and put it on the girl. Fortunately, the girl regained consciousness shortly after. Just when everyone thought the ordeal had finally ended, a man suddenly felt he couldn't breathe. Seeing the man's distress, the flight attendant quickly used the broadcast to ask if there were any doctors who could help. Jack, upon hearing the announcement, stepped forward to assist. However, the man's condition was rapidly deteriorating. Before Jack could even examine his condition, the man suddenly started convulsing violently and eventually passed out. The name of this thrilling movie is 7500.